Hi everyone, welcome to Hccn News. I'm Ashleigh Teare and you're watching Hccn in the evening.
Hi, this is Ashleigh Teare with HCC News. Tonight's show will feature HCCN's own Franklin Jusino with the latest nerdy tech news. He'll be here with the update on net neutrality hearings before the Federal Communications Commission, and Damon Cook will be presenting his sports report on the recent Donald Sterling controversy and the NBA.
Now, get ready for today's dose of nerdy tech news.
Is the internet as you know it coming to an end? Net neutrality, or the idea that all data on the internet should be treated and protected equally, has recently come under fire. The FCC is set to vote on a new set of laws and regulations concerning internet service providers that may end net neutrality. This hearing has sparked protests from internet celebrities and internet giants such as Google and Amazon, who require free, equal internet to survive. While some wish to push the hearing further back to review the rules further, the hearing is expected to continue on schedule.
This is Franklin Jusino, Tech Advisor for HCC News, live from Lafayette Hall. This is your Tech Bite. Are you aware that they are currently looking into allowing cable companies to charge whatever they want for you to use certain websites?
No, I wasn't aware of that.
Eve, how would you feel if you had to pay extra for individual websites?
I think that'd be ridiculous.
That would be...
I'd be very upset because I use the internet for school and for work, and I rely on it.
I think there would be like much more hacking and piracy. Because there's piracy for now for movies, for music.
Would you pay the extra if you had to?
No.
What would you do instead?
Try to find other sites or just boycott it, not use it at all.
If they were charging for individual websites, I just don't think that would make sense at all.
Go to Congress with it.
Okay.
Go to your state representatives.
What would you say to a congressman in front of you who supported this?
Well, I would want an explanation for why they thought it was okay to charge for individual websites. And then I would, tell them the internet, is designed for fair use.
I would tell them that I felt bad about having to pay more for something that's supposed to be free.
What would you say to the congressman who currently supports these laws?
I'd tell them that we pay enough in taxes and for our cable bills, and that a lot of people can't afford to have it increased. And they better take into account the students and the people that really use it, need it, and can't afford it, and are paying high prices right now.
There you have it. HCC News. Frank Jusino signing out.
Tonight's feature story will shine a light on the case of Extortion 17, where questions still remain concerning the death of 22 Navy SEALs killed over 2 years ago in Afghanistan. Neil Knox has an exclusive interview with the father of one of the SEALs who died that evening.
One of the most bizarre and unprecedented events in U.S. military history is unfolding, mostly outside the view of the American public, and it is one that is extremely personal to the families of Navy SEAL Team 6. On August 6, 2011, 94 days after the raid on the Osama bin Laden compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan, a Boeing CH-47 Chinook military helicopter, call sign Extortion 17, was shot down while transporting a quick reaction force attempting to reinforce an engaged unit of Army Rangers in the Wardak province west of Kabul, Afghanistan. The resulting crash killed all 37 people on board. 25 American Special Operations personnel, 4 United States Army National Guard and Air Reserve crewmen, and 7 Afghan commandos. It's considered the worst loss of U.S. military life in a single incident in the Afghanistan campaign. On board that helicopter in the early morning hours of August 6th over the Tangi Valley, Chief Petty Officer Michael Strange 25 years old, from Mayfair, Pennsylvania, was killed along with 22 other members of Navy SEAL Team 6.
Now, Neil Knox's all-exclusive interview with Charles Strange, the father of Michael Strange.
What we wanted to know, basically, have there been any new developments?
You ready for the first brand new development? We went to the Pentagon yesterday, Wednesday, April 30th. And we met with some high officials at the Pentagon, and they never read the report. What happened?
They didn't know, they never read the report of what happened?
No.
Is that what they said?
You ready for some more insult
Oh,
injury?
yeah, I'm ready. I'm definitely ready, man.
They watched my YouTube and read the short summary of how my son died. They never read the 1,300 pages. Of the biggest loss in the Iraq and Afghan war, 30 guys, and the biggest loss ever in any war in the history of America, 22 guys from the death group. That this was an established ambush. This was a setup. The Taliban knew that SEAL Team 6 was in the helicopter. They were bragging over the internet a half hour after it came down. You know?
Charles, how do you think they got a hold of that information? You think it was through the Afghanis?
Oh, I'm sure of that. But the Afghans and then somebody, somebody from our side, I don't know. That's why I'm asking questions. But my son, when he was home in June, talking about a will for the first time in almost 8 years, grabbing me 3 times by the arm, and he signed a will every mission they did. He did all that secret squirrel stuff and James Bond stuff. He always signed him, a will before he went on a mission. It's mandatory.
Right.
But he never talked about it in 8 years until he comes home in June. So, and a lot of the other guys left different too.
Could you explain to me a little bit more what you just said about the actual team itself? How many of them were actual SEALs?
15 of them.
15, and the rest of them were?
The dev group. If you look up DEVGRU, it'll say SEAL Team 6.
Okay.
The Naval Special Warfare Development Group.
As would any other family, all the families of SEAL Team 6 really want to know is what happened to their children that night. Why were their bodies cremated? Why did Charles Strange receive a picture of his son Michael from the autopsy performed that day, where his body was completely intact, and then be told by Army officials that his son's body was burnt beyond recognition? What did happen to the black box? What happened to the 7 Afghan commandos that were supposed to travel along with them that evening, being pulled from the mission just seconds before the helicopter took off? Why were normal standard operating procedures violated? Why was there no air support? Why were 38 men crammed onto one 55-year-old Vietnam-era helicopter? These are the only questions that remain for these families. Questions that have yet to be answered, and despite a congressional hearing, they were denied the right.
Coming up, our sports segment with Damon Cook.
Hi, this is Damon from HCC, and I'm here to bring you sports for our video. As expected in the NBA press conference today, Adam Sandler, the new head honcho of the league, determined the voice on the tape was in fact Donald Sterling, the owner of the LA Clippers. Not only was that Sterling's voice, but Sterling also was aware he was being recorded. Hundreds of conversations between Sterling and his girlfriend was recorded because it seems Donald had a bad memory and had to remind himself of what he said. And finding that it was Sterling's voice, the NBA laid the smackdown and decided to fine him $2.5 million and ban him for life. The fine will be donated to organizations dedicated to anti-discrimination and tolerance efforts that will all be jointly selected by the NBA and the Players Association. Other NBA owners could vote to force him to sell the team. For those that are new to the story, Donald Sterling was caught on tape saying that he didn't want black people at his games, not even Magic Johnson, the brilliant Laker legend and part owner of the LA Dodgers. Not only that, Sterling even compared black Jewish people in Israel to dogs. Clearly, the comments were that of a racist person. Even though Donald was repeatedly said he isn't racist, since the incident, the country has been on fire with the shock of such blatant racism. Calls for boycotts and severe punishment have been made from all kinds of people. In the past day or so, sponsors have been pulling the plug and cutting ties with the LA Clippers as the situation has gotten uglier and uglier. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what's the fuss. The NBA been getting paid off of black people for years. Why all of a sudden a big scandal now?